Have you ever felt it? That strange silence that doesn't feel empty, but heavy. Not the kind of silence where someone disappears, but the kind where you know they're thinking about you. Somewhere right now, a phone is lying face down, not ignored, avoided, because one call could change everything. Psychology tells us that when emotions become dangerous, the mind delays action, not because it doesn't care, but because it cares too deeply. Every unsent word becomes louder in the head. Every imagined response feels real. That's why this silence feels different. It's charged. It's waiting. If you've sensed a call coming before it happened, if silence has ever spoken louder than words, then this video isn't a coincidence. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll understand exactly what this silence means and why it's about to end. The silence before the call. Silence is not empty. It only feels that way when you're waiting on the wrong side of it. Somewhere, someone is holding their phone, not scrolling, not distracted, just staring. Their thumb hovers. Their mind races. This isn't forgetfulness. This is hesitation loaded with emotion. Psychology tells us that the mind delays action when emotional risk outweighs certainty. And right now, the risk is vulnerability. As the philosopher Blaise Pascal once said, "The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of." They don't need logic right now. They need courage. And courage rarely arrives without silence first. Why they haven't called yet? People don't delay emotional conversations because they don't care. They delay because they care too much. Every unsent word is rehearsed again and again in the mind. Psychologists call this anticipatory cognition, the brain simulating outcomes before emotional exposure. What if you pull away? What if they say too much? What if this changes everything? The mind prefers familiar discomfort over uncertain truth. Søren Kierkegaard understood this fear deeply when he wrote, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Freedom to speak, freedom to confess, freedom to lose control. Silence becomes the last safe place before the leap." How unexpressed emotions grow. Emotions don't fade in silence. They ferment. The longer something remains unspoken, the heavier it becomes. Neuroscience shows that suppressed emotions don't disappear. They intensify internally. That's why the call feels inevitable. What began as a thought became tension. Tension became longing. Longing became urgency. Carl Jung warned, "What you resist not only persists, but grows in size." They resisted the call. Now the call is calling them. Why nighttime makes it worse. There's a reason this happens at night. When the world quiets, defenses weaken. The conscious mind grows tired, and the subconscious steps forward. At night, distractions fade, and unresolved emotions become loud. That's why confessions happen after midnight, not because of romance, but because of mental fatigue. As Arthur Schopenhauer observed, the truth that is suppressed by day comes out at night. They didn't plan to think of you. They just couldn't stop. The internal conflict. Part of them wants peace. Another part wants honesty. This is called approach-avoidance conflict, wanting connection while fearing its consequences. If they stay silent, they lose you slowly. If they speak, they risk losing you instantly. So they wait, they calculate, they hope you'll make the first move. But hope has a breaking point. Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music." You can't hear their conflict, but it's playing loudly inside them. Why you feel it coming? You sense it because emotional tension travels. Humans are wired for emotional attunement. We feel shifts before words appear. Silence with emotional charge feels different from silence without meaning. That's why your intuition keeps whispering, something is about to happen. Plato believed, the soul perceives far more than the mind can explain. Your soul already knows what their mouth hasn't said yet. The moment fear loses, eventually emotional pressure exceeds fear. This is the moment psychologists call threshold crossing, when internal tension becomes unbearable. They don't call because they're confident. They call because they can't hold it anymore. The finger finally moves. The phone rings. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Tonight, they choose strength over silence. What they'll say, it won't be perfect, it won't be polished, but it will be honest. Emotion breaks grammar. Truth stumbles when it's been trapped too long. They may hesitate. They may circle the point. But listen closely. The real message is underneath the words. Confucius taught, the superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. The call itself is the action. Why this changes everything. Once spoken, emotions can't be unspoken. Silence keeps dynamics frozen. Truth melts them. No matter the outcome, something shifts tonight. Uncertainty ends. Illusion fades. Reality begins. As Jean-Paul Sartre said, once freedom has erupted into a human life, the gods are powerless against that man and against that moment. The deeper truth. This was never about a phone call. It was about courage, vulnerability, the fear of being seen. Whether they confess love, regret, or longing, the psychology is the same. Silence was the incubator, emotion was the fuel, truth is the release. And now you understand. When someone wants to call you but waits, it's not distance, it's depth. Sometimes silence isn't the absence of feeling, it's the final test before truth. People don't wait this long to speak unless what they feel is real. And when the call finally comes, whatever is said, the fear will be gone. Because courage isn't loud. It arrives quietly, after a long internal war. So if you're standing in the space between silence and truth, remember this. What's meant to be said always finds its moment. And when it does, nothing stays the same.